take your seats. At this time, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the official party. The presiding officer, the commander, 22nd Airlift Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Brian Trumbull. The Chief Enlisted Manager, 22nd Airlift Squadron, Chief Master Sergeant Jeremy Frappier. Our honorary Technical Sergeant Ryan Vonherbulis, accompanied by his girlfriend Devin Bargo, his mother and stepdad, Sloan and Steve Emerson, and joining us on Zoom are other esteemed family and friends. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander, 22nd Airlift Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Brian Trumbull.
All right, how's everybody doing? I'm gonna off this thing real quick so you can hear me. So first, I always want to take the first opportunity to thank the family, right? Because without you, Vaughn ended up here, you know, whether it's your raising of him, your mentoring, you know, Steve, just, you know, your service, kind of all the lessons identified, lessons learned you had from that, and conveying it to him as he grew up, you know, even now, as he's been a career enlisted aviator and being promoted to Master Sergeant, and Sloan, right? Since he was a little boy, you know, there was something special about Vaughn. We all know there's something special about Vaughn, but thank you for raising such an amazing young man. And I'm proud to have him on our team here in the Double Deuce. Devin, thank you all, the special guests, special family members and friends. Again, thank you for being here for this special day. I know you wouldn't miss it. Online, I think I'm tracking a few folks. We got Master Sergeant Dunning. We got Danner, Sergeant White, Sergeant Thibodeau, other Muley alumni that are joining with us virtually. Welcome, guys, back to the Double Deuce. I know you wish you could be here right now, as you're probably sweating down there in Texas, but it's a nice, sunny, dry day here in California. Amazing day for promotion. So, as Sergeant Select Ryan Vonherbulis, we all know him by Vaughn. You know, they're like, who's Ryan? It's Vaughn, right? We know who Vaughn is. I get fired up at these promotions, right? I have my notes and different things, and certain things I want to highlight, but where else in this great nation is an entire organization going to stand down for a day, right? Get together and celebrate one person's promotion, right? Their sacrifice, their promise for future leadership, right? The potential they've demonstrated in the past, and that they're going to invest in the future of this organization. Where else are they going to do that, right? Than in these promotion ceremonies, the profession of arms that we celebrate here in the Double Deuce and the rest of our sister services. It's special, right? And it's something we hold close to our heart. If you read the Air Force instruction, right, the 36 series instruction, the AFI, right, that talks about the duties and responsibilities of senior non-commissioned officer. There's certain things that are highlighted that I'll get into in a second, but it's also layered. What I mean by that is it specifies, you know, the junior enlisted duties, it specifies the non-commissioned officer duties, then it goes to the senior non-commissioned officer. It's almost like when you go shopping for a new car, there's like different trim levels. It's all the same car, but as you go higher in trim level, it's like the platinum, the senior non-commissioned officers, you've got all the bells and whistles. And those bells and whistles are translated back into Air Force speak and leadership is the following. I'm going to highlight a few. Serving as a role model for all airmen to emulate. And that's easy to kind of roll off the tongue and say, but if you think about it, that means everyone's watching you, right? Even the young officers, right, are watching you and see how you carry yourself, how you perform in the aircraft, right? We have a dual role here in the Air Mobility Wing and the 22nd here at the C5. I hate to talk about being a heavy hitter. You have to perform well in the jet. You also have to perform well with your leaders on the ground, right, inside your shopping. And here as one of our chief loadmasters, huge leadership role. Next is reflecting the highest qualities of an effective leader. And there's different nuances that's hidden in there as well, right? Highest qualities, right? And the highest qualities, and we have certain qualities that we hold, you know, what am I trying to say? Our core competencies that we have as professionals, right, in the profession of arms. But there's also those qualities that we have as leaders in the Air Force that make us a little bit more special, right? Operating aircraft around the world. In this case, one going to India right now to help rescue their COVID situation. Vaughn has demonstrated that in the past. Being an effective leader, not just being any leader, being an effective leader. What I mean by that is developing those in your charge, right? And if they're not succeeding in your charge, you're not being an effective leader. Vaughn has demonstrated that. Fully leveraging their experience. We're going to go over the experience that Vaughn has brought back to this team over his different assignments, accomplishing the unit's mission, right? So at the foremost, the forefront of a senior non-commissioned officer's charge is mission accomplishment, right? That's my charge, and I have my senior non-commissioned officers at my side that are helping lead this unit, right? Lead this organization of 256 folks. Lastly, and I want to highlight this one, the special obligation and responsibility to ensure the climate and culture exists of dignity and respect in this organization, right? And we all hold that close to our heart here in the Double Deuce, and it's something that's very important, right, to my charge as a leader, and also to Vaughn's and the rest of the senior NCO Corps in this great unit. So that's a lot, right? And it's a bit intimidating, okay? But it's also why the Air Force selects its only very best technical sergeants to be selected for master, right? To join that senior NCO Corps. You may ask yourself, okay, well, you've stipulated some of the highlights that are in the AFI, but really when it gets down to it, what does it take, right? We want to read it on paper, but we want to see, you know, those things done in action. What specifically is that? What does that look like? So I'm going to tell you. It's mastering your AFSC, right? So we have 4 to 5 AFSCs in this organization. Loadmaster, right, for Vaughn. For Vaughn, it's 3,600 hours in the C5. Over 1,000 of those, right, are combat as a loadmaster evaluator. It's holding and succeeding, right, at the highest qualification in your crew position, which is evaluator, right, that Vaughn has done so successfully. He's demonstrated proven leadership in the breadth of organizations. We'll kind of get into what those organizations are, and also a breadth of flight duties that I'll talk about in a second. For Vaughn, it was instructor loadmaster, right, when we started here in the Double Deuce. Training supervisor while here in the 22nd. Loadmaster NCOIC of Stanaville when he left in 2018 and went to McGuire Air Force Base. So McGuire Air Force Base Contingency Response Wing, also the Expeditionary Center led by a 2-star general. We only send, right, or only handpick individuals that are going to be the very best at joining with our sister services, right, and being part of the CRG and the CRW, the Contingency Response, doing things like humanitarian support and aerial port opening and closing, right? So as we retrograde out of Afghanistan, that's going to be an important role for the CRGs, both here and also at McGuire. But he was hand-selected to go there to the CRG at McGuire. 621st Mobility Support Operations Squadron, to be specific. What do they do? I'm going to let you know. So they assisted and advised deploy with international partners and allies for humanitarian operations and airport openings and closures. The bottom line is essentially they are the experts that we send out that have experience and have proven leadership previously for Vaughn in the 22nd to go out and join with our partner allies, nations, and sister services and a lot of non-governmental organizations. USAID specifically is the most recent one, and going into India to assist and advise on how to get that cargo moved, right? Because taking cargo out of an airport here at Travis or Dover or McGuire and getting it sent into a third world country or India that's undergoing a pandemic that we haven't seen, you know, specifically in that country anywhere else before, right? But 350,000 new infections a day is something that you have to behold. Like that's a big deal, okay? And that's the reason why we take our only very best to go to there. So when Vaughn was selected to go there, he excelled once again. Speaking of the jobs that he was able to hold and do very, very well at, was you're the affiliation instructor there, right? And then you also were selected for the Eagle program. So the Eagle program, so take the very best we've kind of sent to the CRGs, you know, but either here at Travis Air Force Base, McGuire. Then they take the best of the best, and they get selected for the Eagle program. The Eagle program is an expeditionary air-ground liaison element. So take everything that the MSOS had done previously, and then, you know, like I said, you're basically taking your ninja CEAs and putting them with our joint partners. So the very best of the Army, Navy, Marines are going to be joined with these Eagle teams to do that humanitarian and airport opening and closing support. But they're much more agile, and they're highlighted as a high velocity unit, so they can deploy within 24 hours around the world. So a really big deal. And like those of us who have worked with joint partners before, when we integrate with each other, we know we're going to integrate with each other, it's almost like a little healthy competition, right? Like we're going to only send our best folks because you're going to represent the Air Force, right? When you go there and do that. And Vaughn is hand selected to do that. Not only was he part of the Eagle program, but he's sent to be chief of the Eagle program for the Loadmasters, and also the chief of Stanival in the Eagle program as well, as he validated the training and that hand selection process. So back here at Travis, I had just taken the DO job. Colonel Pollock was still in command. We all know that we had this massive influx of student Loadmasters, and I remember vividly being in the conference room with Colonel Pollock. I think we actually had, Danner with us. We had Dunning. I think we had Jenkins. We had De La Rosa. I'm trying to remember all the expertise that we have Loadmaster-wise. And in 22nd, we got in the room and we started attacking the problem. Like, okay, what are we going to do to get through this massive backlog and get these folks in and get them trained and ready to go rock? Because it was a readiness issue, right? It still is a bit of a readiness issue. And when we got into the personnel realm, I forget who it was that stood up and was like, we need to get Vaughn back. Almost like it was like an older brother or someone I knew. I was like, Vaughn, like, who's Vaughn? Like, oh, you don't know Vaughn? Like, no, I don't know Vaughn. I was a Dover cat. I don't know Traps. Were like, well, Vonherbulis was left here as one of the first assignment Loadmasters that made it evaluator. And I was like, well, that's a big deal. Okay, so he's already got instant credibility with me. And then I think he was even Aguilar to start talking into like what else that Vaughn had done previously here in the Double Deuce. And if you go back in 2016-17, we were double, Smith Trophy winners at AMC level. We did a lot of big stuff that Vaughn was a part of. And I said, well, I want him, right? And Pollock's like, yeah, we want him, right? Pollock didn't even know him either, right? Because he had let Pollock out here in command. So we did our best. We reached out, we got Vaughn, got him coming back, and we talked to him. Vaughn was like, I'll come back to the Double Deuce, right? Who doesn't?
Back to pack.
That's right. That's right. So we pulled Vaughn on back, got him here, and obviously, as you know, he's sitting back as one of our chief Loadmasters in the RM shop, doing great things, leading teams, right? Leading teams and individuals to get our mission accomplished. Lastly, in order to secure your spot, and kind of going back to what it takes to be a senior non-commissioned officer, what does it take to secure your spot? It's usually, and I'll tell you what it is, it's demonstrated sustained excellence, right? It's demonstrated sustained excellence that typically comes out in the form of awards amongst your peers, right? Certain EPR stratifications on your records. For Vaughn, it was Instructor Loadmaster of the Year for the 22nd in 2016. It was the Red Irwin and Dutch Heiser nominations in 2017. It was Affiliation Instructor of the Year in 2019 at McGuire Air Force Base. That's huge, right? The base level. And it culminated in his must promote selection in the Force Distribution Panel. Those of us have been on the Force Distribution Panel for Tech Sergeants. I mean, these are stellar folks, right? In order to secure that must promote, that's a big deal. But it wasn't a shock. And it wasn't a shock to any of us in this room that he was selected for Master Sergeant with only 3 years time and grade as a tech. That's a big deal, guys, right? It's a fast burner. And I have no doubt he's going to continue to crush different duties that I presented him. I promise you're going to present him more. Challenges, because he's an ace, right? So with that all being said, I'm just proud to have you on this team. I'm looking forward to you making the next rank here coming up. I guarantee it's going to happen because you're a leader amongst leaders. So with that said, let's make it official.
All right, thank you, Colonel Trumbull. Technical Sergeant Vonherbulis, please come forward for the formal portion of today's ceremony. Ms. Vargo and Mr. Everson, please join Technical Sergeant Vonherbulis to pin on his new stripes effective 1 May 2021.
All right.
She's been waiting to hit me all week.
We all have.
Go easy on it. Yeah, rooftop. Right there. Got it. Whenever y'all are ready. Yeah, put it on and then punch me.
All right,
We'll get a photo. Sir.
Chief Master Sergeant Pratt Bailey will now read the Senior Non-Commissioned Officer Creed.
Congratulations, Vaughn.
Thank you.
All right. I I'm going to read what it means to be a senior NCO. If you give me a minute. In the United States Air Force, a Master Sergeant joins an elite group. The term sergeant is an ancient, honorable one that denotes a person possessing special skills, trust, and integrity. You are now a Master Sergeant, which means you have mastered the technique and abilities required of non-commissioned officers. As you progress to Senior Master Sergeant and Chief Master Sergeant, your title will change, but not the designation as a senior non-commissioned officer. You are afforded privileges not awarded to others, and you have freely accepted responsibility beyond the call of normal duty. You have, by your actions and performance, earned the respect of your seniors and juniors. As a Master Sergeant, your entire way of life will change. More will be expected of you. More will be demanded of you, not because you're a Master Sergeant, but because you are a senior NCO. You have not merely been promoted one pay grade, you have joined an exclusive group, a group dedicated to taking care of those who follow in their footsteps. As a member of this group, you have responsibilities to your fellow senior NCOs, even as they have responsibility to you. All right. Okay, so now we're going to do the senior NCO creed. Devin has told me that you have memorized this already. No, you don't have to. All right, so at this time, I ask that all senior NCOs, past and present, please rise and join Master Vonherbulis, reinforcing the solidarity with the NCO Corps. Okay, Master Vonherbulis, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I am a senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Air Force.
I am a senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Air Force.
I hold allegiance to my country,
I hold an allegiance to my country,
devotion to duty,
and
personal integrity above all.
personal integrity above all.
I wear my rank of authority with dignity.
I wear my rank of authority with dignity.
I promote the highest standards of conduct,
I promote the highest standards of conduct,
appearance, and performance by setting the example.
and performance by setting the example.
I seek no favors because of my rank.
I seek no favors because of my rank.
I am devoted to the concept of service rather than personal gain.
I'm devoted to the service rather than personal gain.
I uphold the traditions of senior non-commissioned officers
I uphold the traditions of senior non-commissioned officers
who precede me.
I
manage resources under my control with astute efficiency
I manage the resources under my control with astute efficiency
and lead the way with the highest level of competence. I always strive to merit the respect of my fellow senior non-commissioned officers.
I strive to merit the respect of my fellow senior non-commissioned officers
and of all with whom I come in contact.
I thank you, Chief Frappier. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce you to Master Sergeant Ryan Vonherbulis.
All right, I don't know where to begin. Thank you all so much. You made me appear as an all-star in front of my family, friends online, family on Zoom. I really appreciate it, sir. Thank you so much. K-Rob, thank you for stepping in for Brado. Brado's sitting in Rhoda, Spain on his vacation. They've been there for a hot minute. I'm glad I was able to jump ship and make it back here in time for this ceremony. Thank you for stepping in as well, Jag. And I really appreciate it. And Will, thank you as well. It all starts with home. I was raised, I'm fortunate enough, my mother, my stepfather, Steve. I'm glad he talked me into Air Force. Like, he's Navy retired lieutenant commander, so he was even wise enough to say, don't go down that road, go Air Force. But they raised me right. They challenged me. They guided me throughout this entire process as childhood. When it came to even enlisting, I thank you all so much. Devin I can never settle. She's always pushed me to go further, do more. And yes, I think she's motivating me to continue progressing throughout this career, and it'll make me a better leader for that. And thank you. Love Squadron, thank y'all. The Muleys, past and present. Those that are online, those that are here, y'all made this job enjoyable. Unfortunately enough, I don't look at it as a job. I come in each and every day. I get to interact with y'all. Y'all make it fun, whether it's here or even on the road. It's a blast, and I really appreciate it. This is the third time, my third assignment. Like Colonel Trumbull was saying, I was begging to come back here. I tell you, individuals like Dunning and Danner, Mondo, Aguilar, they were pitching for me to come back a year into my McGuire assignment, and boy, I was ready to leave. The grass isn't always greener, but it ended up providing me an opportunity to become a more well-rounded leader, whether it's interacting with the different branches or just branching out and seeing what actually happens prior to the aircraft's arriving. And I didn't realize how much work goes into preparing stuff for airlift. Emily online, Florida, Ohio, Virginia. If I have any advice for anybody moving forward, I think you connect with your senior leaders, sort of find a mentor, link up with them, those that challenge you on and off the aircraft. Our evaluators and instructors, they got a lot of experience, a lot of hours. They can help develop you into a better SME. And then when it comes to the leadership side, find somebody that you trust and that's willing to take the time. Like Sergeant Collins, I gotta appreciate him. He's helped me a lot since I've gotten back and seated it back there in his office. It's been a blast, and thank y'all so much for holding this ceremony for me. It means a lot. I look forward to the future. I'm going to continue to develop my leadership skills. It's always got to develop your bench. If you're not sitting there developing your airmen, you're failing. I'm going to continue to take the advice of members like Danner, Dunning, Mondo. We got Ricky in the back, the retired guy, black flight suit. But they are great mentors for me. I'll sit there and tailor their leadership abilities and construct it into my own and develop them. But I very much look forward to my next several years here in the Double Deuce, and can't wait to get on the road with y'all. Thank y'all very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the departure of official parties and for the singing of the Air Force song.
We go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sky. Here they come to meet our thunder. I'm aboard, give it a gun. With eyes spouting of flames from under, off with one hell of a roll. We live in fame of the ground and plane. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
All right. CDs right now, security forces now. Yeah.